Hey, what is poppin', Saints? So today on this video, I want to talk about why you attract what you don't want. It's like something that, honestly, the reason why I wanted to talk about it was because a lot of this spiritual stuff that I teach, that you watch, it's stuff that should be fundamental. And it's like you don't really get it until like the last, like when something either traumatic happens, which is kind of what happened with me, or you just piece it all together at some point, and it come at any time. There's no such thing as too late or too early. It just comes. It comes when it's supposed to come for you. And for me, it came, and I had this realization while I was in this phase, and it was that honestly, the things that I don't want is partially due to how I'm thinking about it, because I'm attracting what it is that I don't want rather than what I do want. And how do you do that, you may ask? I've learned that for me personally, I attract what I don't want because of my thoughts. Let me explain. And this is probably common for almost every dude, okay? Or also women as well. But let's say you were thinking about somebody that you used to be with, and you think about how you may want to be with them again, or how you feel like, dang, like I did something wrong here, and like I really want to make it up, and all these things, like I know better now, I can do better now. Let's say that's your scenario, right? Well, what I could tell you is when you get into the negative thoughts of, man, this is not gonna work, because I mean I did so much, I did filthy, I did yada yada yada, and that may be true. However, comma, like I said, if your ideal goal here is that you want to rebuild a bridge there and show that you change, you feeding a negative thought like that isn't going to do it. In fact, we can even make it relatable to money. Like, you may be saying, yo, I want this job. No jobs are hiring. Nobody wants me to be on board because everybody, I'm applying to like 200 jobs, and only five of them said we'll give you an interview, and none of them even said yes. That happens. However, what I realized though is that when we easily start thinking about the negative of like, man, like this is not gonna work, this is not gonna happen, do you think that's gonna push your scenario any further? Do you think, just personally, like you don't have to listen to this as a spiritualist. I just got to the point where I view it as that. But do you feel like you're getting anywhere closer to where you want to be when you look at it from that perspective? And I'm not saying that you should just become a robot and you just don't have feelings. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that our thoughts really do have more power than we think. So I would say, listen, like it's bitter work, like Avatar Roku would say. And if y'all don't know what that, and y'all know who that is, I suggest y'all give Avatar. I suggest you give the Avatar a try. Not the James Cameron one. We ain't talking about that. But if you guys find yourselves being like, you know what, like I keep thinking about the negatives about this situation that I was in, and I find myself either just it just never coming to be, or it just takes longer than it needed to because you had to adjust in some way where now you just let go of the emotional attachment to it. So of course the world's gonna say, you know what, hey, listen, at this point the person needs the job because they got over it now by it not coming fast enough. They now it's coming to you. Now it's coming to you. So what I'm saying is this though. What if what if you decide to be positive? Okay? Well, I would say not just positive, but just really you just catch these thoughts. You just catch them. Okay? I'm gonna tell you right now, it's annoying. It's annoying. I mean, we're talking about you micromanaging yourself. That's probably the most tedious task you can do. But boy, does that build a muscle, and boy, does that build, you know, the world that you want a lot easier. It does. I mean, it's better than randomizing it and hoping that it comes to you. Trust me on that. Especially if you're trying to be direct, you really can't be random. You want a certain outcome, you really can't be random. And in my case, I have a desired outcome. There's a certain person that I personally do want to make things work with. And for me to make that happen, I can't be randomizing my energy. I can't do that. I have to be direct. I have to know what I don't know. And I have to step into being that person that already has all of it. So I can just have everything just be fit into the proper place. And we can get into the formula of that later. Like as Nero put it, it's just the metaphysical formula. And I've heard it enough, learned it enough to where I can break it down to you guys, hopefully in a format that you guys can find easy to learn. But in my case though, right? So like back to the point. The point is you are thinking about something negative and you're attracting what you don't want because of it. And I'm gonna break down something, right? So when you are thinking about something negative, think like this. You are entertaining a reality, a version that you really don't want. But here's the thing, like what did they say pretty much in all of the, esoteric videos, the manifestation videos, all these, and not even just that, just different religions. You get what you focus on, what you are emotionally connected to. It comes. It doesn't matter from what position you're looking at it. You can be looking at it as a Christian, you can be looking at it as an esoteric, evangelist. It don't matter. At the end of the day, where you put your energy, emotions into, it births something. Whether you want it or not. Because honestly, you're dealing with the world and it's like clay, and it's like clay. You're the one that's forming it. Like I said, regardless if you know it or not. And for me, I want you guys to know it. And in the case of it, when you are thinking about something negative, I find that when you are thinking about, man, like, I can only see this shit never working. Like, this is gonna get bogus and more bogus. Guess what you're gonna attract? It's gonna get more bogus. It's gonna get more bogus. And outside of that, even when you think about the past, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. Because I've noticed that with myself personally. I think to myself, like, man, I really did this, and I really don't think that, like, like things are gonna. Well, I didn't say it like that. It was just like I did this, and I felt bad about it. I felt guilty. I felt like, man, like I really let myself down. I let them down, and I just hate that I had to hurt someone in the process. That was my thought process at this time, right? And this was obviously in a relationship, and I realized as I was doing that I'm still entertaining a past version of myself. Because, like, Neural Knowledge put perfectly well, and you guys should read his book. In my honest opinion, it kind of makes this a lot easier to understand. But he says that when you have old energy, he says frequency. I just say old energy. It's old energy. It's an old you trying to survive. Simple. Okay? Like, we don't have to overcomplicate it. It's just the old version of you is trying to survive. Regardless, it's not personal for it. It's not personal. It's not trying to hurt you, but it's trying to do everything that it can do to survive. Because as I'm thinking about these thoughts, it's like the only outcome that could come from me thinking like this is being stuck and feeling like I shouldn't take action or even feel like I should deserve to take action. You feel me? Like, once again, I'm not saying that I don't acknowledge my mistakes. I'm not saying that I don't take into consideration what it is that I've done. Because like I said, like, these things happen. And because it happened, I changed from it. Because honestly, it takes only a day to change. It can take less than that. It's all based on decision. A majority of life is pretty much decision. But on this case, I'm helping you guys with the decision of when you're thinking about something that's in the past, that's not serving you any purpose, think of it as that's my old version trying to survive. That's the old me trying to live. not the new version, because your new version wouldn't be thinking about that. Your new version would be thinking about how you're winning. Your new version would be thinking about how tomorrow you're going to be winning better than when you were before. It would be grateful. It would be having this different type of switch. And the thing is, it's going to vary. So I don't want you guys to do this and feel like it should just change in like a day. No, because certain situations need different type of work. If it's based on someone else, like I said, I don't know your situations. Like your situation could be that, you know, you messed up with somebody in a very excruciating way. Your situation could be purely financial. It could be different situations that need a different type of calibration. And I mean, a lot of it does stem from emotional charge that you have to believe in. It has to be something that comes from, it has to be something that you can honestly say, this is how I feel about it, and this is the facts. And if you don't, it's like if I say, yo, like I want to be a like someone say, yo, I want to be a billionaire. I'll be a millionaire. You can say that, but do you believe it? Do you actually believe it? Do you believe that you're going to put yourself in position to be that millionaire, to be that billionaire? Do you really desire that? And you find that out for yourself. You find that out for yourself. But I really just want to talk about that though, because I thought to myself, like, man, like when you think about the negative, you're attracting that. And subconsciously, it's like as humans, what I realize is that we on reflex naturally and easily attract what's against us rather than what's for us. You know, just something I thought about. But once again, appreciate you guys for listening. And this is a new thing that I haven't said before. But when I'm saying this information, guys, do not take it as gospel. Okay? Take it as something that you can learn from, apply it to your own life. Do not take this as gospel. I repeat, do not take this as gospel. Don't take what anyone says as gospel, even if it sounds 100% certain, like there's no loophole in the. Listen, at the end of the day, all information is different based off your experience. 100%. Like, yeah, this could be a great baseline of what to start with, but at the end of the day, your journey is your own. All I can do, well, I mean, I'll not limit myself like that. Hold on, this word's got power. But what I can do is, what I am doing is that I want to give you the tool. I want to give the tools. I am giving the tools to where you guys can work it out. Figure out what is that you need to. What is that you need to know to get that version of life that you actually desire, that you actually want. So that's what I'm doing here today. And I mean, hey, look, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. And hope you guys listen all the way through. Meantime, talk to y'all later though. Take care, y'all saints. Peace.